What is going on YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video on this channel. And today's video is a bit of an odd one. It's a football talk video. It's to do with Man United, as they tend to normally be on this channel. But yeah, basically I watched the Man United Newcastle game last night and sat there and went, who's United's number one at the moment? Obviously on value it's going to be David De Gea. He's earning 375 a week, possibly, if not more, and that's just on the wage. Henderson's on 100 a week, and he's only like a 20-year-old kid, 23-year-old. God, okay, a few years off on that one. Romero's 70k a week. He was second choice, but what, third choice now? And I'm not going to include Grant on this because obviously he got brought in as a coach in reality, so ignoring Grant. Our three choices. De Gea is 30 years old, and for the last 5 years, he's been linked with a move to Real Madrid, which could still potentially happen, but I don't think it will. Henderson has been linked, according to social media and articles online. Henderson's been linked to a move to West Ham, Tottenham, Chelsea. The 23-year-old is an English player that in reality could become an England regular, depending on how that situation goes. Again, bit of a sticky issue with Pickford. I don't rate Pickford. Pope is great, but Southgate doesn't seem to like Pope as much as the rest of us do. Henderson could easily jump in as a younger player for a long-term first place spot in the England team, which obviously bumped the value up. He's English as well, that bumps up the value anyway. But apparently, according to social media, he's worth 40 million at current value. I don't know how true that is. I don't know how much you'd get for De Gea. He's 30 years old, which doesn't really mean too much for goalkeepers. Obviously, they last a little bit longer on the field due to not running around as much, I guess. But that 375 a week is a huge amount of wages. You could get 3 Hendersons a week for that and have change left over. According to Google, again, social media, Facebook and everything else, Skulls has been hating on De Gea recently. If you put Skulls into Google, what do you think the first thing is that comes up? Paul Scholes, Google News. Scholes disagrees with Genius over United's man of the match. Named timid and bullied United star. Are they really good enough? You know, he's not keen on it. And I've seen other articles saying that De Gea is too scared to be a goalkeeper. I don't know if you can really say that he's too scared as such. I mean, he's a 30-year-old keeper that's played over 300 games for United. He's played nearly 50 games for Spain. You know, he's won a lot of trophies as such for Atletico and for United. Hasn't won anything for Spain apart from the youth games. But I mean, like, I'm a huge De Gea fan. Like, I was really happy that we signed him back in 2011. He was like my ideal goalkeeper, and we needed a new keeper. He's been at the club for 10 years. He cost nearly 20 mil, so he's basically cost us 2 mil a year. That's an absolute bargain for who he is. But now, the De Gea now to the De Gea 5 years ago, it's not the same guy. And honestly, I don't know who would take him, especially on them wages. There's been rumours that he might be going to PSG. With PSG, their current keeper is Navas, who's 33 years old. They might look at it and go, let's bring him in. They're happy to pay the wages as well. Henderson to West Ham. Will United actually sell potentially one of the best goalkeepers in the Prem, potentially, to, at the moment, a top 4 team like West Ham, like Chelsea, or even like Tottenham if their form kicks in again? I can't see it. But again, there's also articles now saying that Ollie's told Henderson that one of them will be sold. Either Henderson, a Man United youth player, or De Gea, a 30-year-old, over-top on wages goalkeeper who has been at the club for 10 years. Loyalty on two sides there. Long-term player, United youth. It'd be really interesting to see which way Ollie goes with this. The other thing is, if they do sell one of them, Romero's also been told that he might be leaving potentially on a free at the end of this season. So we'd be down to one goalkeeper. So are we looking at bringing in a goalkeeper? Again, if I was looking at the United wages, 375 a week for De Gea and 100 a week for Henderson, I know which one I'd be picking. I don't think there's 275k a week difference between the two keepers, but Henderson needs a 5-10 game spell in goal for United to see how good he is for United. It doesn't matter if it's against the big teams or the bottom half players, or a mixture of the two, or a regular spell. I thought he was going to be the FA Cup, the League Cup, European keeper this year, and then potentially become full-time keeper next year, but that doesn't seem to be happening as such. The Sun has suggested that both Barcelona and Real Madrid are after David De Gea. Don't know how true that is. As well as Atletico Madrid's apparently after him, depending on what happens to Oblak. He wants to leave. He wants a new challenge. He's on 380 a week. He's on more money than De Gea, but he's only 27, and he's an absolutely beast in goal. I wonder if there's a potential swap for the two. Would you swap De Gea for Oblak? I would. And then there's other options like the AC Milan goalkeeper, who, again, I think it's only about 20. I keep saying 20, and I bet you he's probably not. He's 21 years old. Donnarumma, he's 21 years old, born in 1999. He's already played, at the age of only 21, he's already played 200 games for Milan. So he's got experience. He's also done 22 international games for Italy. He's basically the next Buffon. Why do we not go for him? There's rumours that he's not signing a new contract. Going back about a month ago, they were saying that Chelsea were going to get him on a free transfer. Don't know how true that is. I don't know if that's going to happen anymore. But I don't know. I'm sitting there going, maybe go for him. He's young. Again, imagine him and Henderson as our two keepers. It'd be quite interesting to see how that happens. How much would we end up having to pay him? At AC Milan, he's currently earning 150 a week, which is a little bit more than Henderson. But I'm not going to compare the two, but if you go back 15 years, 16 years, when we used to have Tim Howard and Roy Carroll, there was a spell of about 6 months where United fans couldn't decide on who they wanted as their first choice keeper. In reality, Howard was a better keeper, but fans battled it out between the two. I'm not going to mention the Tottenham game, okay? But it's almost like that now, De Gea or Henderson, and in reality, they've both got their pros and they've both got their cons. De Gea's been there for 10 years. Is it time for him to move on and get Donnarumma or even Oblak in? Spend the money for Oblak if you're going to get money for De Gea. I don't know. It'd be really interesting. I tweeted a former Dagenham and Redbridge player, Danny Green, on when was it, today actually, just saying, what would you do if that was your, if you were in charge, what would you do? And I didn't really get an answer on the buy-sell situation, but he mentioned bringing in Kasper Schmeichel. Now, obviously, it'd be really interesting to see him come in, because one, he's 34 years old, so he's older than De Gea, he's older than Henderson. I don't know how old he is compared to Romero. I don't know how old he is off the top of my head. How much would he cost to get from Leicester, another top 4 team. He's an ex-Man City player. He's the son of a Man United legend. He doesn't particularly want to follow in his dad's steps and go to United, I don't think. But I'd love to see him at United. Absolutely, 100% would love to see him. My questions to you are, what would you do with De Gea, Romero and Henderson? Again, $375 a week for De Gea, 70 a week for Romero, and 100 a week for Henderson. De Gea has been linked to a move to all the top European teams: Madrid, Barca, Atletico, PSG, and AC Milan. Henderson's been linked with a lot of Premier League top teams: West Ham, Chelsea, Tottenham, all London-based teams. Romero's meant to be going on a free next season, but that might change depending on what Ollie says. Would you sell? I mean, according to Henderson, one will be leaving. And if you do sell, who would you bring in as a replacement? In reality, who would you pick? If we can get Donnarumma on a cheap, if not a free transfer, and pay him the 150, 200 a week, it'd be quite interesting to see him battling it out for that goalkeeper spot with Henderson. A bit like how Luke Shaw and Alex Telles kind of bring out the best in each other. It'd be really good to see that. I just don't see De Gea battling it out anymore. I think he just wants an easier life. But yeah, that's my thoughts. I'd love to see any of them keepers as United. I don't think we've had such a strong goalkeeping situation for a long time. I think David De Gea is probably lacking a bit of self-belief. It's probably the easiest thing to think about. He's made a few mistakes and he's not really bounced back from it. Henderson's pushing on his, he's right behind him going, come on, crack on. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to end the video here. Leave your thoughts and your comments in the comment section below. I might talk about defence with United, but I don't think United's defence is that bad. They just need that solid centre back, but that's potentially for another video.